targeting some of the highest ranking basketball figures in the world. But what's more important is, will they offer Caitlin Clark that $100 million?
Whoa. The WNBA recently received a shocking revelation for which they were completely unprepared. The figures being thrown around Caitlin Clark's name are just astounding. A few million is no longer a topic of discussion. $1 billion offer is being discussed legitimately. The entire game has been entirely altered by Saudi Arabia. And a very costly lesson is about to be taught to the league that consistently underpays its biggest talents. Would you even think twice if someone offered you $1 billion to play basketball abroad? Tell me what you think.
Come across my phone that says Neko Gumake becomes the first player known to join new Project B League in Europe and Asia. Neko Gumake, the president of the WNBA, in the middle of these CBA negotiations where literally everything is on fire right now in the world of women's basketball. Everything is burning. Neka is announced as the very first player who will be joining this league that not only is a league that runs during the offseason, but they have marketed themselves as a league that will rival the WNBA. It's a 5-year.
When Neka signed with Project B yesterday, the internet virtually went crazy. To be honest, it wasn't primarily due to Neka. It has to do with what her symbol truly stands for. You do realize that she is the president of the WNBA Players Association? She is the one who should be negotiating with the WNBA and advocating for better deals, yet she abruptly left to compete. That would be equivalent to the Titanic's captain seeing an iceberg and boarding the first lifeboat right away. The message is rather obvious. Not even the union's leaders have much faith in the long-term viability of the WNBA. However, this is just absurd. Following Neka's signing, there were a lot of rumors circulating about who would come next, and Caitlin Clark, a name that kept coming up. But not for a standard contract. There are rumors circulating that she could become one of the best-paid athletes in the world. Some people are even bringing up the $1 billion figure once more. Even though that sounds completely crazy, we must keep in mind who we are working with.
On the street is that they're looking to target Caitlin Clark. We got some tweets to go over, but what's first is we got a bit of negotiations for the WNBA actually signing to this Saudi-backed project. Man, ESPN broke the story late yesterday, guys, and this one right here is a shocker. And this has to be a conflict of interest, man, in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
The problem is that Saudi Arabia doesn't actually adhere to standard economic principles. For these people, spending $100 million on an athlete is practically pocket coin. Consider it. Cristiano Ronaldo was paid more than $200 million annually to play soccer. To join Al Golf, they offer golfers signing bonuses in the hundreds of millions. They even paid Floyd Mayweather outrageous sums of money and flew him out for exhibition fights. The absurd thing is that when you have oil reserves that might sustain a small nation for decades, money simply doesn't matter. Therefore, if someone tweets that Caitlin Clark might receive $1 billion deal, it's not as crazy as it sounds. Is it likely? Most likely not. Is it feasible though? Indeed it is. These are the same individuals who paid a fighter $6 million for just 3 exhibition matches. And the same people who awarded a golfer a signing bonus of between $400 and $600 million. They just don't follow the same rules as everyone else.
Project B is paying a lot, which is what we assumed. You know, this all started with Saudi-backed league. And that's what got the controversy ball rolling and the speculation ball rolling. And to be honest, I wasn't sure what to make of it. But now it seems like a very, very real thing, particularly with Neko Gumake signing. And there's the message that sends with her being the Players Association president and everything. But then there is the bottom line. You know, everybody's got a price as the $1 million man.
In the meantime, the WNBA is currently in complete panic. They had to give themselves a 30-day extension to work things out while they were in the midst of collective bargaining talks. Amidst all of this, their fiercest rival suddenly intervenes and begins stealing players with offers that the league could never hope to match. It's similar to attempting to haggle over your pay as your supervisor observes someone else giving your coworker 10 times your wage. Let's now discuss what Project B is really offering. First of all, The amount is secret, thus it's likely embarrassingly high when compared to WNBA player salaries. Secondly, players are receiving equity holdings in the league, thus possession. These women are no longer merely workers. They are investors who profit from the league's success. Thirdly, the calendar coincides with the WNBA offseason and goes from November to April. In any case, players would typically be working abroad. Consider what that means for someone like Caitlin during that period. She might create generational wealth by playing for a well-funded league with top-notch facilities rather than collecting her WNBA contract and then traveling to Turkey or Russia to play in some half-empty gym for extra money. The grind of the offseason is over. She won't have to worry about dubious foreign coworkers failing to pay her. Her whole family is set up for life with just one check. For the WNBA, the timing couldn't be worse. They are attempting to arrange a contract for new media rights. They sorely need their stars to make it all work as they attempt to build on the enthusiasm from the previous season. Then Project B arrives with Saudi funds and makes threats to destroy the league as a whole. It's similar to witnessing someone meticulously construct a house of cards for years, only to have it completely destroyed by someone else.
Project B is founded by former Facebook executive and the co-founder of Skype. And they've got the investors, as I've mentioned before. Candace Parker is one of them, Novak Djokovic, Sloane Stephens. So it's some big-time investors involved as well. But the salary is what is truly staggering and the thing that could change the entire game in the landscape.
In any case, the co-founder of Skype and a former Facebook executive launched Project B. As I've already stated, Candace Parker is one of the investors they have. Sloane Stephens, Novak Djokovic. Thus, there are also some large investors interested. However, the salary is the most startling factor that has the power to alter both the game and the environment. Didn't even attempt to act as though it had anything to do with anything else. She accepted the money because it was just better. To be honest, why wouldn't she? For decades, the WNBA has underpaid these women while constantly promising that things will improve. Project B simply appeared and declared, "Eventually forget. Your money is here." Conspiracy theories are currently circulating with some, and here's the thing. Nika Omik stated unequivocally that her primary motivation for signing was the cash deal. She made no attempt to act as though it had nothing to do with anything else. She accepted the money because it was just better. To be honest, why wouldn't she? For decades, the WNBA has underpaid these women while constantly promising that things will improve. Project B simply appeared and declared, "Eventually forget. Your money is here." Conspiracy theories are already circulating, with some believing that Project B deliberately targeted the WNBA due to its vulnerability. For years, the league has been losing players to leagues abroad. The pay is horrible. They are in poor working condition. In contrast to leagues for men, all Project B needed to do was provide respectable funding and equity, and all of a sudden they became a very alluring choice. However, everyone's ultimate goal is Caitlin Clark. At the moment, she is the most well-known figure in women's sports. She fills voids. She disrupts streaming services. She is a huge product seller. Project B will literally legitimate their entire organization overnight if they are able to acquire her. All of a sudden, they are more than simply a fledgling league. It's worth whatever they have to pay Caitlin Clark because they are the league that signed her. Some claim that Caitlin's stock has recently declined. She is still by far the most marketable player in women's basketball, though things may have changed a little. Perhaps we would be discussing the entire billion now if this offer had been made during the height of Caitlin mania last year. A more reasonable estimate would be between 10 and 20 million, possibly as high as 50 million if they really want to make a big impact. The problem is that Saudi Arabia doesn't accomplish anything insignificant. They completely control a market. Once they enter it, they established more than just a golf league. After founding Ala Ev Golf, they started stealing from the PGA's largest names with contracts that garnered international attention. They made investments in more than simply soccer. With the addition of Cristiano Ronaldo, their league became a destination for aging superstars seeking one final big salary. Therefore, they are not coming to compete when they target women's basketball. They intend to subjugate. And the secret to that victory is Caitlin Clark. They can get anyone if they can get her. When other players witness Caitlin receiving fair compensation, they will either demand the same or quit. Really, in just 2 years, Project B could easily be the world's top women's basketball league, and the WNBA might be dismissed as a league for growth. Players' lack of options has long been the WNBA's biggest advantage. Yes, you could travel abroad, but doing so frequently required overcoming obstacles like language difficulties, cultural differences, uncertain league stability, and sincerely hoping your money would actually arrive. Project B is now providing foreign finance, but with support from Saudi Arabia and American organizations, it really makes a big difference. Some people are attempting to turn this into a lesson. Problem: they claim that due to human rights issues, players shouldn't accept Saudi money. This is a valid point to make, but when we discuss the NBA's enormous partnership with China, or when U.S. corporations conduct billions of dollars worth of business with nations with dubious human rights histories, where's the same enthusiasm? Athletes have always had to make difficult decisions about their financial sources. In actuality, Project B complies with the regulations. No one is being coerced into signing. Simply put, they are providing better terms than their rivals. That's capitalism, my friends. The WNBA claimed for years that market forces set pay, but now the market is clearly speaking. It turns out that salaries increase when there is real competition. Dramatically. It's shocking, huh? The WNBA can't match these offers monetarily, so it's incredibly interesting to watch them try to react. They genuinely lack the funds. Rather, they're attempting to appeal to loyalty and emotion. They're discussing legacy and history, the importance of playing in America, and creating something together. However, you can't use legacy to pay your rent, and you can't retire with positive energy either. This choice should be very simple for Caitlin in particular. She has already completed all of the tasks that need to be completed domestically. Influence. She already serves as the face of women's basketball. She has already demonstrated her complete dominance in the workplace. What does she still need to prove in the WN? In the meantime, Saudi Arabia is giving her the opportunity to finally receive compensation commensurate with her true value. Let's also discuss the precedent that this establishes. Every aspiring women's basketball player now knows they have a legitimate choice if Caitlin takes the bag and joins Project B. They are not required to take whatever scraps the WNBA tosses at them. They are able to take advantage of offers from rival leagues. They have the right to request equity shares. Instead of negotiating out of desperation, they can do it from a position of actual power. To be honest, the WNBA caused this circumstance. They had years to address the enormous salary gap. They could have more fairly divided the revenue. They could have made significant investments in expansion and marketing. Instead of treating their stars like disposable workers, they should have treated them like real stars. What the WNBA declined to offer is now being offered by someone else. Consider how crazy this is. The president of the WNBA Players Association has just departed for the tournament. It's more than just a vote of no confidence. On your way out, you're essentially setting the building on fire. Why would anyone else believe in the future of the WNBA if the woman who is meant to be lobbying for higher salaries doesn't? It's not just Anna either. Former WNBA champions have already invested in Project B. It involves Candace Parker. Donalena Deli is engaged. These individuals are obviously wagering on the competition and are well-versed in the WNBA. The league office should be completely terrified by that alone. Additionally, Project B's format is quite clever. It doesn't directly compete with the WNBA season because it runs from November to April. In theory, players could do both. Here's the truth, though. Why would you risk getting hurt while playing in the WNBA if Project B pays 10 times as much as the WNBA? Why would you divide your attention? All you have to do is play for Project B. Some are attempting to argue that the WNBA won't be significantly impacted by this. The majority of players, they claim, will remain devoted to the league that gave them their start. That's simply delusional. These women aren't performing for charity. They are professional athletes attempting to make the most money possible in a very short amount of time. They will definitely accept a life-altering financial offer. The WNBA's reaction has been defensive as expected. They are attempting to minimize the danger. They are highlighting the historical significance of their brand. They are discussing how hazardous and unproven Project B is. However, when the competition is driving trucks loaded with cash to participants' homes, none of it really matters. The fact that Project B isn't merely tossing money around at random adds to the intrigue of this. They genuinely have a plan. They are employing former executives from Skype and Facebook who are experts at creating a worldwide brand. WNBA champions are being enlisted as advisors and investors. They are intentionally avoiding the pitfalls made by other startup leagues by researching what went wrong with them. This is a clear analogy to LIV Golf. Everyone predicted that LIV would fail when it was launched. Players were making a mistake, according to the PGA. Fans declared they wouldn't watch, but when the checks began to clear, some of the biggest personalities in golf abruptly changed their minds. Now that LIV is a well-established league, the PGA had to radically alter its operations. Project B could accomplish the same thing with ease. To the WNBA, they have the money, they have the connections. Players have already signed with them. To legitimate the entire operation, they only need one or two big names. And Caitlin Clark is currently the most well-known figure in women's basketball. Right now, the WNBA is being taught a very hard lesson. It is just not possible to underpay your staff for decades and then expect loyalty when they receive appropriate remuneration from someone else. The WNBA owes these ladies nothing. The league has been making enormous profits from their work while only paying them a small portion of their actual value. At last, the hens are returning to their roost. The whole basketball community is anticipating Caitlin Clark's next move. Like in sports, it's the most crucial choice. Project B is not playing around, and neither